how will this thing equalize? How will jadi gote jhiyota bi even my sector is worse. Maybe we have 1 or 2 women entrepreneurs in like 400 developers. It is worse. Maybe 3 I can count right now. Maybe there is Sophia in Metro, there is Ratnamala Sai ma'am in DN, and maybe I've heard of one Barsana, her daughter is doing. So the 3 ladies in like 300, 400 developers. So it is much bad.
But yours is, but usually education is handled by women only.
Yeah.
But I thought here it shouldn't have been.
Shouldn't have been.
But your sector is separate. But for us, I think it's a more a woman-dominated profession and school listen. But administration, I think, I don't know how it has become.
We always talk about, inequality with women in pay, in work, at home. But nobody talks about inequality of women in starting an entrepreneurship or maybe being an entrepreneur. से लोक मान ट्रस्ट नहीं जदि ट्रस्ट भी नहीं तो गोटे सिंपथी रे चली जाती बट हाउ कैन दिस इक्वलाइज लाइक
only attitude only man attitude only it comes from home when I think parents elders men everybody has to take a big of course educated family re at least eta tikke helani. But rural area where now you see woman Shakti is doing so well, Samastya have become a great entrepreneur.
छोटे-छोटे दुकान करचंती छोटे-छोटे
बहुत वैसे I think women in rural sectors are much better than the men. I don't know because our school re almost for 1 year we were supporting this millet people mission. So all the PTMs and all that they used to come and put up their stalls and all that. And we saw how aggressively they're doing. They're managing their home and everything and making little earnings and then it's banking, everything they know. So it's really I'm happy to see what the women are doing right now.
And maybe then there is Anganwadi, it happened, and then बहुत जगह रे health maybe what I don't know the correct word, but health workers maybe seita भी women रहिले माने government रे for the rural areas. So that all promoted a lot of entrepreneurship in
though they were not
rural.
They're not educated as much as, but then the attitude, but that has changed. So they are letting the women do what they want to, and they have actually changed. Actually, it's always said if a woman can do everything, means take care of the family. If a man is educated, it's only an individual. So same way, little bit of education or learning, like training. I think the government has trained them so well. They've empowered them so well. That I think they are doing so well. Like it's really now you can see the shift is happening. But the men also should accept and respect them. Yes. I don't know at rural area they are not. They're still being beaten up and exploitation is going on, extortion is going on, everything is happening. So if that can be changed, I think with education only it can change.
Even urban areas, maybe मैंने से percentage कहते high नहीं, but that मैंने से equalizer अभी भी नहीं. So for me to go and maybe look upon a developer who is a woman, I can do, but not many people can do. They can't look upon a woman who's a developer bigger than me, or maybe I learn from her, or maybe I put all my say marketing decision on a woman or a sales decision on a woman, and maybe it can be anyone. So to see a woman without having that divider, saying कि एटा यही कामटा किए भी करता हो. So that needs to come up in say business world. Now we are talking business, we're talking about entrepreneurship. So see Tabi, it's a big struggle.
Yeah, for men going and negotiating with a woman they don't like. So usually discussing, see any business, they have to negotiate, they have to talk, discuss. That I think men are still, there's a small line there. They don't like to talk to a woman. But I think gradually it will come up because women are doing well and there are so many women who are doing well. So I think the men are encouraging the women also. So I think it will come soon.
Maybe maybe you should also have, a 5-day course or 7-day course for all the boys in the school. Ki, girls are equal.
Now that, of course, I think these boys and the schools, and at least in urban area, I think they know. But still, actually, have a culture. I think is so deep into it. At home, they have seen their grandparents. They are seeing their. So that is still there, no? So that influence is still there. So that will take a few more decades, I think. Once that, like our generation, what we are doing, I
It was
think
very
as
bad. For somebody to come up as an independent entrepreneur in your generation, it took me like 2 months to find someone. I knew you, but beyond you, it's very difficult to find someone who did it independently.
But still, like in our generation, I think we are the last generation who used to listen to the father and mother. We used to listen to the brother, then we listen to the husband, and we are listening to our children also. So it is our generation. But I think after our generation, that has changed, and that will change.
But still, I think, the gap is very huge. I tell you why. We do this business podcast or entrepreneurship podcast talking about entrepreneurship. So I was getting into the analytics part, and what I see is only 7% of women watch my podcast and 93% are mine. So person, if he's looking at my podcast, he's interested in entrepreneurship or he's interested in business. So the gap is so high, 93% to 7%. So that is where, that is where the real gap is. And this has to go up because I'm a society de 50-50 hi achu. There are 50 women to 50 men.
I think women are so busy because they are multitasking actually. They have to take care of their house, children, in-laws or parents, so everything.
Yeah, maybe, or maybe explaining men, maybe I'm going beyond, that being a house husband is okay. Or, being, if your wife is making more money than you, it's okay. It's okay. The relationship remains the
Now
same.
things are changing because day before yesterday one couple had come for an admission where the husband has left all his job because the wife is working for the government. So the husband for the education has left his job.
And taking care of the child.
Taking care of the children. So I was really happy. I was feeling so lucky you are for a woman. And then he was saying, no, for that I chose your school so that I'll come over and see that my children do well. Things are changing, but like you're telling, the percentage is very less.
Very less. So if somebody, and then, to hear that a girl saying कि मैं पापा का business handle करूँगी या मैं business करना चाहूँगी, वो business का कौरी भी, it is very rare because they've not been, it's not in their mind कि वो business का कौरी पारी हुई. Even in a business, if I see my daughter can handle better than my son, I will never give it to a daughter because we keep it in mind कि daughter business कौरी पारी बनी.
No, those days are gone. So, and there are sectors where women do better than the men. And some areas are there, it's all that the men can be doing. So, if it is a balancing, so for me also, like now, I feel that work, so where I can send my son to an office where he can handle things, because I have learnt that for a woman, if you go, it is not. So he can do that. So if you share everything, then okay, these are the areas, these are the strengths of my daughter, and this is the strength of my son. Yeah. Or this is the strength of my daughter-in-law, this is the strength of my son. So if you balance it, I think your business will rock.
Yeah. So Minati, Rahul, they both are rock of this business. Yeah. And it is so, it is so good to see a son handling mother's business than a father's business. So, I've rarely seen that. A son has helped her mother to grow the business.
Yeah. Because, and so but he loves what his father does, but he feels that here he can do because he's more like me, can talk to people and convince people and all. So he's doing that. Yeah. So That is the thing. Both, and we have understood now in these 10 years that Minati's strength is what and
What
Rahul's strength is. So
what?
we have balanced. So both of them have decided, okay, you take this one and I do that. So that balance, if you can help, then I think things will work very smoothly.
You know, this is a burning issue. Like, mo dekhe, I love the INVEC initiative. If you know about, you know, they are helping so many women entrepreneurs, and then government is backing them so much. So INVEC as an organization has done so much around entrepreneurship and women in Bhubaneswar. Aji maybe they are 30th mere tankara third or fourth
And
exhibition
this time I think it's a big way. This time it's
Every
become
time they
larger,
do
it's
it
going better.
I mean, they do it better than any organization's fair. Again.
Because actually women actually, you know, when they takes up something, they do it with sincerity and
Yeah,
they are very
yeah.
particular about
Particular about
the
things.
perfections and all that
Yes,
also.
yes.
So that is what it is. See, that is what it is, like movement Shakti, which came from rural, and the urban areas in which is doing is again promoting little.
So it's heartening to see all the stories coming out of that exhibition and everything.